start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we got a short agenda today, but I will go with the approval of the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of the minutes. Last week's meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve last week's minutes.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment.
I will make a motion to approve the claims for payment this week.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Jeff, you're next on the agenda. You're about all that's on the agenda. but
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
Thank,
quick.
thank you for being here.
Oh, no, thanks for letting me come down. I approached you again like I did a few months ago on our building. We're crowded, and I visited with Renee, and she said you had given some thought about maybe a different location.
Yep, so it wouldn't be so crammed.
Right, and that would be good in a way. We had talked then after I visited with her, we were still gonna utilize the old building to put our trailers in, kind of remodel the front of that so we could get them in. Plus, we got electricity there, water there. We'd have to, the cost would go up substantially to build big enough to in-house the trailers, have water, new electricity and everything brought in, so I didn't know if you guys were aware that's what we were planning on doing too, besides building another building for the trucks, keeping the old building for the trailers, the boat. We now house the air trailer for the northern part of the county, which the fire departments use. Used to be at the Howell Falls Fire Station, and they didn't want it anymore, and it got locked in the city garage, and there were several times we needed it at night and couldn't get it. So we decided to crowd that in our building, which it crowds us, but yet we're making use that we can get it in and out. And we've used it since we've had it and stuff too. So I agree with her. It'd be nice to have one big building someplace, but again.
Would it be more cost effective to do one big building versus try to remodel an old one? When you brought it to us, it's almost been a year ago, hasn't it? When you brought it
It
to
was
us,
just before the budget time, about February, yes.
and when you brought it to us, everything you wanted to add on it, it almost looked like you wanted to get an architect to come in and design this conference room and extend the building and everything. It would almost be less money just to start from scratch
Right.
and build a new building.
And that possibly would. I haven't taken that back to a.
And that's
guy
what
that
we were
kinda
talking about.
designed, what we were looking at first. We had a guy give us the cost of remodeling the front of the old one and then putting us on a little meeting room and then a bay for the trucks. And that was gonna run a little over 300,000.
Right.
And it's possible, again, I don't know if a.
One structure wouldn't cost that much, and just put it all under one roof and
And
do
that
it
would
at
be
one
great
time.
if we could have that.
And that's what we were thinking about from that time when she said one building.
Sure. Then I got thinking, well, then where? And
Well, that
you
was the
guys-
question.
Yeah, that's the question. Then our guys had, they said, well, that sounds great, then where are we gonna go?
Right.
And I said, I don't know.
And we talked to the city of Iowa Falls a little bit, and they had an area just south of Dale Howard's there.
Oh, okay.
Back by
Yeah.
the cement plant, you take that street past
Oh,
the cement.
Okay.
And
See, at one
right
time
now it's
when
a
I
dead
talked
end,
to
but-
Jody, he was thinking just south of the fire station, and that's kind of small in there almost, but yeah, maybe I should.
But then you'd be looking at nicer access, closer to Highway 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not it's parked on one way. It's just hard to look at throwing money in a bad situation.
And I agree with you. And it would be bad for the city and our neighbor there that moves snow.
Right.
Because last year, they had snow piled way out to our building and we got another bad snow, either they couldn't move snow or we wouldn't have been able to get out.
Right, and
So-
these are just some of the things we talked about with Dave. I know we talked about Cindy, we brought that up to her at one time. And-
Well, and we thought that possibly the value of that location where you're at now is maybe worth,
Sure.
Now, the city
A little
owns that
more,
ground.
The
because
city
it's-
owns that ground,
it's
right, yeah,
riverfront
the whole thing
property.
there. And
That-
before I had approached you, I'd gone to the city council and they had given us the rest of it. We were just, had a easement for that little piece that the building sits on, but they had gone ahead and given it to us.
oh, they did.
Maybe they would work something out on this property out there that.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought too.
Yeah.
And we asked Cindy for some ideas.
Okay, and if I was to approach, who do I talk to?
That was Cindy Litweiler we approached.
Okay, and maybe Jody. would
Jody,
know where
I would
the-
Yeah,
I would
I would
approach
probably
Jody
go
on
to
that.
Jody.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because Cindy's
First.
economic development.
Yeah,
I
Hey,
guess the
but
question-
just in the big sense of it, it just seems so much more efficient
Sure,
to try to put up a structure you need in a location that would be more suitable versus try to add on because we already have a small structure there.
right, right.
It just doesn't make sense to add on at more of a cost than a new one.
Because, in the add-on, you'd still be in an old building,
And limited.
and limited, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and your space there is still kind of cramped for getting bigger
Right.
equipment in and out,
In and
yeah.
out. And with this location that you're talking about, there's probably water available, or could be water available.
Oh, it'd have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
at one time, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometime easily.
I would imagine.
Wouldn't be a deal of having to drill a well and things like that, so.
Before you were asking for some money, just for an architect to start designing it. Is that right? You wanted the first step to get
I
an
guess
architect, and then you were looking at a lot of
dealing
donations
on the
for the
city
building.
end, and I don't know how the county works, when you get so high in cost, don't you have to get a
Probably.
engineer or something like that? Okay, yeah, that was my question then about getting some money. Cause you hate to go out and, will you donate, and then all you're doing is paying
Yeah,
And from there, we
engineer to
just
do it.
kind of toyed around, I know we talked to Dave, Cindy, just individually talk to people and kind of get some feelings, and to hire an architect to design, to me, to hire an architect to design on to an old structure made no sense versus
Mhm.
trying to replace it with a new structure.
Right,
So, I mean, an architect to design a new structure, I don't think it would cost near as much either. So again, do we want to dump good after bad again, if that's not what we're looking at doing?
sure.
I don't know.
Do you have a preference of an engineer, or? See, when I was first thinking of an engineer, I was thinking, well, maybe I could get Alden's engineer that's done a lot of projects in Alden there.
I'd have to see resume, I mean, you just have to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Send out a reference out there and see who wants to
Do it,
apply
okay.
for it, yeah, and pick from there.
Okay,
But at this time, I guess we really don't know what you want.
sure.
Again, from what we want and from what you're asking
Right.
for, are two different things. We should probably try to meet in the middle and figure out where we want to go from there.
Okay. Well, and
And
they've all left me kind of as the spokesperson, so we're willing to go with a different piece of land. Now
but we don't have it.
Huh?
We don't have the piece of ground, and
No,
that's
and
part
I'll
of the
visit
problem
with
also.
Jody on that and see what the deal is, if it's, what it's gonna cost, if it's, could be in kind or something like that, or a lease.
Well, they're getting one
or
back.
a trade.
Yeah, give one
Yeah,
back.
trade.
trade would be nice.
I mean, there's different options there.
There are
That was
different
just-
options. There,
that was
the
just
one that
one.
he was talking about is one good option, but there are a couple of options on the south side of town.
I see, okay,
You'd need to talk to Jody about it.
I'll do that. I'll get with Jody and,
So I think we should research it a little farther to see if we could look at that avenue before we go forward with,
The jump.
yeah.
okay, that sounds good. Great, okay. Thank you for
Hey,
your
you're
time.
welcome.
Yep.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not saying no.
No,
I
no,
just-
no, I agree.
I would
I
just
agree.
rather have a better product.
Sure, yeah, and we don't wanna do something and then wish we'd done it different down the line.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a better
Yeah.
avenue to explore rather than,
Right, right. Okay, well, I'll start on
Okay.
Jody and then we'll go from there and maybe we can get up to an engineer and keep going then.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
guys.
thanks, Jeff.
Next, we have is utility permit secondary roads.
I'll make a motion to approve permit 11, well, I guess it's permit 112515. Motion to approve Hardin County utility permit application by Windstream Iowa Communications, Inc. for the purpose of installing copper cable along County Highway D25 near 14202 address in Section 4 of Buckeye Township.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. News on secondary roads. Don't climb in a ditch, you might fall down.
Exactly. We won't bring that up, though. You brought it up, Randy.
Next is approval of final plans for bridge deck and replacements, project number BHS-CO 42-79-6342.
This is the bridge deck replacement on S-27, just north of Highway 20.
Okay.
Drove by yesterday, the big hole in it, the
Yeah.
deck.
I hit that hole too.
I didn't hit it.
I got
Now
it.
you know it's there. So, yeah, we're looking at, the engineer's estimate's $524,794, so. Recommend approval.
Like, since I hit that hole, I'll make the motion to approve the final plans for the bridge deck replacement project. Number BHS CO 42-79-6342.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You got anything else on us?
This?
Yep.
Nope.
Okay. Next is approve agreement with Callan and Burns 2016-2017 bridge inspections.
Yep, Callan Burns does our bridge inspections required by federal law.
Half the bridges every year.
Have to, at least half, some are yearly, depending on how they are, so.
I was going to ask how often they had to be, so some of them are
Every 2 years is the minimum, some of them have to be done every year.
out. How do you determine which ones are which?
They use a rating system, and without getting too technical, there's numbers and,
Okay. I didn't know if it was the amount of use or,
knows how bad a shape it's in.
oh, all right.
Ask for approval.
I'll make
Okay.
a motion to approve the agreement with Calhoun Burns 2016-2017 bridge inspections.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any other business? Hearing none, I'll ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries.